Hello, dear friends. No surprise there. We were warned there would be chaos before reaching the finish line. Opinion piece. Genius Act. New dollar. Risk prevention. Economic freedom. No future for control. Consumer protection. End of the fiat system. Financial transparency. The reckoning has begun. Bringing back real money. Nothing can survive with low frequency. Let's start. Ensuring the stability of the international economic system is the goal of the Guiding and Establishing National Innovation for U.S. Stablecoins Act, which has just been passed by the U.S. Senate to regulate digital currencies. The law establishes strict regulatory framework for stablecoins pegged to the dollar. It means the end of instrumentalized inflation, artificial debt, and stolen futures. For the first time in over a century, this law facilitates the launch of a new treasury dollar fully backed by physical gold and silver, bypassing the Fed, a currency designed to cripple the fiat system and send a signal to the dark side that the world is recovering its economic destiny, according to media greed. The Genius Act has sown fear at the highest levels of the financial pyramid. The Davos Forum, the BIS, and the IMF, and every regime dependent of fiat currencies, from Brussels to Beijing, are panicking. This legislation is not just a national change, but a global earthquake, because once we get real money back, the illusion of centralized, digitized fiat control collapses. The era of counterfeiting is over, and the reckoning has begun. Optimism. Following the Senate's passage of this law, the price of Bitcoin reached a new all-time highs, reflecting the market's optimism about a clearer and more favorable regulatory environment. It will allow anyone with a smartphone to access regulated digital dollars, expanding the dollar's reach in the quantum economy. This law requires stablecoins to be backed by dollars, short-term treasury bonds, or liquid assets, ensuring the soundness of these instruments. It also introduces regular audits and financial transparency requirements for issuers and prioritizes reimbursement to stable holders in the event of the issuer's bankruptcy. It also establishes strict rules against money laundering and terrorist financing, aligning stablecoins with regulations in plural for traditional financial institutions. It prohibits members of Congress, senior executive branch officials, and their families from issuing stablecoins during their public service to avoid conflicts of interest and facilitates the integration of stablecoins into the traditional financial system. Survival. By reintroducing asset-backed money, this law evokes President Kennedy's 1963 fight for sound currency, cut short by his assassination, and revives an attack on globalist monetary control. Starting in 2025, when U.S. debt exceeds $35 trillion, a return to an asset-backed currency is not a matter of fiscal logic, it's a matter of survival. The last serious attempt to escape the system came in 1963, when President Kennedy signed Executive Order 11110, authorizing silver certificates as money based on sound value. By 1964, the program was dead, and in 1968, silver redemption was abolished, effectively barring the dream of monetary sovereignty. For the first time since 1964, the world is turning its back on debt-backed fiat currencies. This measure closes the door on a century of monetary manipulation and exposes the role of private banking cartels that turned citizens into perpetual debt slaves. The Genius Act restores the Treasury's constitutional role to issue money backed by tangible assets, dramatically reducing the Federal Reserve's monopoly. For decades, the Fed has pumped trillions of dollars into the system to bail out Wall Street, fund wars abroad, inflate markets, and devaluate every dollar. Alert! Stay tuned. We know there is a lot going on behind the scenes right now. The whole world is watching, expressing emotions and pontificating about the junk in the Middle East, while trading missile barrages and promising to do better. We should be soaked by so many drops by now. When will the normal people get their real waterfall and stagger around for a few days trying to recover and reconcile with everything? We don't have to worry about nuclear weapons, as our friends above have dismantled them. But what about directed energy weapons? We've seen evidence of their use even recently. Who controls them? Most of the public has never heard of them. Cash Patel fearlessly delves into the dark and murky world of censorship. All of us reporters have often experienced intense censorship, but we, the warriors of the light, are truly fortunate. It seems that the eye of the storm brings with it endless interesting information to ponder. Some friends have steered clear of this and chosen to live a quiet, simple life. My mission is to write daily blog posts, so I spend several hours a day at the keyboard, but I make sure to get out of the house for at least an hour to enjoy the outdoors. Evolution. The Federation of Light has told us that things will get more complicated, but also that the way out will manifest fairly quickly when all seems lost. One way or another, we could be moving toward greater discord or greater peace, according to Steve Biko. An important element is the extension of Elon Musk's Starlink, including through cell phones. It will facilitate organization and coordination, elements that have always been lacking or, at best, patchy in previous moments of resistance. Even if we were to stand idly by repressing regimes and doomed to extinction, the fact that we are being flooded with higher energies means that all authoritarian regimes will become increasingly weaker, and the desire for freedom will become ever stronger. There will be no future for religious control and repression. There are only open paths to spiritual freedom. No more stoning, burning at the stake, imprisonment, etc. Archangel Michael said that hatred, greed, and control will not triumph, and the Divine Mother reminds us that social control is not part of the divine plan. Love will triumph because that has always been the plan. I am not in favor of any side, but I am in favor of freedom and certainly of solidarity and respect, and I am against any place and anything that rejects love, punishes it, or represses it. Matthew said, "The deception is rapidly crumbling under the constant and escalating attack of cosmic energies designed to do just that. Even the strongest souls are shaken by the rising energies during this final phase of the battle between light and dark. The dark knows it is lost, and the waves it generates in its financial throes are countered by the intensified light from countless sources on and off the planet. It couldn't be otherwise, simply because that is the physics that governs life in this universe. As the Earth advances by leaps and bounds toward even higher planes, nothing can survive with low frequencies in any form: theft, dishonesty, unjust loss, intolerance, and cruel acts. Furthermore, that same energy is acting like a giant shovel, digging up everything old to rebuild and release it, according to the Arcturian group. In quotes, before they can be removed, pockets of dense energy, many of which continue to manifest, must be exposed and perceived. The high-frequency energy flowing into the Earth acts like giant shovels, digging up and exposing layers of energy that have lain dormant for centuries. Many powers with the energy of duality and separation cannot continue to exist in the presence of higher frequencies, because they are not real and lack divine law to support them. Since the cleansing process is a facet of ascension, this will continue until the energy of light becomes more dominant. On other occasions, the Arcturian group added, many are being forced out of their comfort zone, leading them to question their personal belief system and the status quo. A new and higher awareness of everything seen, heard, tasted, touched, and smelled is rapidly unfolding in the global consciousness through the light of higher dimensional energies pouring down upon Earth. We Stasids need to overcome this next chapter in our ascension history, which could be the darkest, and we must overcome it together. The dark side of the force wants to divide and conquer us. We must unite, and our response must be to join forces and resolve the cross of the finish line together. That is how agile mammals outlived the clumsy dinosaurs, and now is the time. Breaking news. The G7 summit in Canada fails to bridge the gap between the US and the EU. Trump leaves the G7 adrift. The forum's leaders face a new reality after losing US leadership, according to Bloomberg. Stocks fall and oil rises 4% on fears of a war escalation. The Fed cuts its outlook for the economy but keeps interest rates steady. Trump harshly criticizes Powell. In quotes, I think he hates me. I insult him in every way possible to get him to cut his spending. The Department of Justice seized the record $225 million in cryptocurrencies linked to global scams. Gold overtakes Treasury, the yen and the Swiss franc as the ultimate safe haven. Middle East. Trump approved his plan to attack Iran, but it is waiting for Tehran to abandon its nuclear program. Trump received a range of options for the National Security Council, ranging from surgical strikes to a larger-scale air offensive. The US is preparing for a potential attack on Iran in the coming days, according to Bloomberg. The offensive could take place this weekend, according to government sources. The International Atomic Energy Agency says there is no evidence of Iran's nuclear weapons program. Iran says its nuclear facilities have not been damaged, but warns of radiation risk. Iran's largest cryptocurrency platform hacked, stealing more than $80 million. Europe. European stock market closed lower. Austria joins Hungary and Slovakia against the Russian gas ban. Brussels files a case against Spain for tax discrimination against foreigners with primary residences. Americas. Hurricane Eric hits southern Mexico at Category 3. Mexico and Russia lead the ranking of countries with the lowest unemployment in the G20. And that's all for today. Thanks a lot, dear friends.